All right, everybody, let's talk about the reading year of 2026. And really, to be honest, this is going to be a video where I'm begging people to join me on Buddy Reads to keep me accountable. All right, so this week I moved into a new place along with, of course, my cats and my wife, and we are not really moved in yet. If the camera was turned around, you would just see a bunch of boxes. But this way, maybe you can't tell. Maybe you can. I don't know. I wanted to get a video out about books and series right now that I want to read in 2026 because I have some ambitious goals, and I really want to read these with people. I find I'm much more productive as a reader and as a booktuber when I have buddy reads and group reads to be a part of. So if you're watching this, comment down below. If you know other booktubers who are doing it, let me know. I'm happy to join existing ones or do new ones if some of these long series that I want to read in 2026 are having read-alongs somewhere else. Right now, I'm only part of one read-along. It is the Narnia read-along I'm doing with Rid, which we are, of course, going to finish, I think, in May of this year, maybe April. We're reading Silver Chair in December. That has been very, very fun and got me excited about read-alongs. So let me know. Or if like enough people like in the comments are like, hey, I also really want to read X series. Do you want to host a read along on your channel? Let me know. I can also do that if we get enough sort of critical mass. And of course, not all of these am I starting in January, but this will be like a hope at some time next year in 2026. So first of all, I've been talking about this a while. I want to finally read R. Scott Baker. I've been wanting to read R. Scott Baker for a long time. A lot of people who read Malazan are huge fans of R. Scott Baker and are probably that's like outside of other like Erickson or Esselmont stuff. It is the one thing that people say I should read, except for another one that I will get to in a moment. But I'm going to start obviously with Darkest That Comes Before, which is the first book in, what's the name of this trilogy? Tell me what this series is called. The Prince of Nothing trilogy. So I'll be starting that probably sooner rather than later because I want some R. Scott Baker. But we'll see. I think that's one where I don't know of any read-throughs, but that might be something if people are very, very excited that they might want to join one on my channel. So let me know if you haven't read that before. One that I know that I will be starting in January, I probably should have started with this, you know, like numerically or whatever, is the second Austenard. I'm going to return to the land of Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. I read Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn by Tad Williams 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago at this point. Great classic fantasy, and for a long time, I have been wanting to get back to the newer series, which starts, I think it's just called Return to Ostengard, or Last King of Austenard, which is the Witchwood Crown. But there is a sort of like bridge novella called The Heart of What Was Lost. I have that, and now I have 2 of the new ones, and Philip Chase and Shelf Esteem are doing a read-through of that. So I just messaged Philip, and I think he might have gotten back to me. I got some notification on YouTube I haven't checked yet. So I'm hopeful that I'll at least read it with them. Maybe I'll get on a video with them, or just like we'll be watching their stuff as I read it. And I'm excited about that because Tad Williams is a great writer. These are kind of big, beastie books, but Tad Williams is almost always worth it. Another series that goes in the category of if you're a Malazan fan, people tell you to read it all the time, that I'm going to hopefully start this year is The Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. I have both. They're right here. I should read them. They're very digestible. Well, I shouldn't say digestible because I've heard it's a very challenging work in theme and even sometimes in the voice, but like very, very gratifying and rewarding. I mean, like page count is not too much. So I should do this. This is another thing that I kind of know that even if I won't love, I will at least appreciate and be excited by. Like, I think like worst case scenario, this is going to be like a Glenn Bank, blah, 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 blah. Worst case, it'll be like Glenn Cook's Chronicles of the Black Company, which while is not my favorite, I appreciated and certainly saw how it motivated folks like Steven Erikson in their writings, and so I enjoyed reading it, even if it wasn't my personal favorite. At best, this could be one of my new faves, because I've seen a lot of people that I really respect love this book. So if you are going to read or want to read, or maybe want to reread Gene Wolfe, let me know. I would love to do a buddy read of The Book of the New Sun. This one I'm probably not going to do a buddy read for. I just need to get through it. The second Pierce Brown Red Rising books. I read the Red Rising trilogy this year. One of my probably top books, if I make a top book list this year, is going to be one of the Red Rising books. While they're not, again, sort of a personal favorite, I thought they were great, very entertaining, and especially if I want kind of a space itch. I'm gonna get to this, so I'll finish that second trilogy. This is a huge commitment, but I think I need to just do it, and that is Dark Tower. Now, the only asterisk I have here is for Stephen King fans, should I just like jump into the Dark Tower and read that series, or do I need to read, I've read The Shining, Doctor Sleep, Pet Sematary, all of those I thought were great Stephen King books. I haven't read It, The Stand, but I do have them. I know that there's some allusions to those books in Dark Tower maybe, so should I read that, or should I just be like, I like Stephen King, why wouldn't I read his fantasy series when I'm a fantasy reader? So I have all of these, I should read them, and this is one I certainly want to do a buddy read with if I ever do it, again, whether on my channel or if someone knows someone who's going to tackle Dark Tower, that'd be exciting. I think Four Corners of the Page, I think David mentioned he might want to reread these, and he's read them once, so that might be a good person to buddy read with that with, but we'll see. One that regular readers and watchers of my channel will be excited that I'm doing is I'm continuing with my Ian Esselmont read-throughs, and I'll be starting Paths to Ascendancy here pretty soon. The Ian Esselmont book, I don't think I'm going to do like a read-through as much as like, obviously you all know that I will always post long, in-depth reviews of Malazan works, and so I will be doing that with this Path to Ascendancy trilogy, and this first book, Kellen Vedreich, is relatively short, 350. And I've heard a lot of people say this is their favorite Esselmont period, these first Paths to Ascendancy book, and so I'm excited to get to that. Certainly we'll be doing that in 2026. Some classics that I want to read this year. One is a reread and might be my favorite book of all time, period, and that is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. I read this now 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? And just loved it. This is an incredible, incredible book. And I want to already reread it and bathe in it and be able to, again, talk more broadly about its themes and its characters when people ask me about it, because people ask me about my favorite books all the time, and I could say Malazan, but things that a lot of people have heard of, I say Tolstoy as an author, and Anna Karenina is my favorite of his, and I stand by that. War and Peace is also great, but this is kind of like, whew, so good. I also have a little bit of a hope. I know Murphy Napier just finished The Death of Ivan Ilyich, which is a little novella that Tolstoy did that is fantastic, and she really enjoyed a lot of the themes there that I think are explored in greater depth, particularly about like what is most important in life in the grand scheme of like work, family, morality, our place in society, that Anna Karenina, I think, does the best job with in Tolstoy's works, and again, in literature generally. So I'm gonna try to maybe talk her into joining me for Anna Karenina. We'll see. I haven't talked to her about that yet, but go watch her at least short on Ivan Ilyich and read Ivan Ilyich if you haven't. It's great. But I think I'm going to try to reread Anna Karenina this year. The other classic, let's see if I can find where it is. Where is it? Where did you go? I know I put you on the bookshelf. Got it. Okay. This is a favorite of my wife's that I've been wanting to read for a long time, and that is Middlemarch by George Eliot. I have heard this is like a wonderful like hang book where you just like get slices of life from all these people that you like that are written so in depth and with such like vivid color that you just enjoy your time in sort of this town. I think the Middlemarch is the actual town, if I remember right. The back says it is the quintessential Victorian novel. So if you love George Eliot, have read Middlemarch, or want to do Middlemarch, I think this would be something I do on my channel. Or again, if you've heard of other people who read it, I want to get to it this year. This might be like a summer read. We will see. So that is kind of the big picture of this year, I believe. I think that's a lot of fantasy generally, but I think a lot of good stuff that I'll want to get to, and I reserve the right to switch it all around. But especially right now, at the beginning of the year, where there's a lot of read-alongs that are being announced, I want to get those out there and see if anyone wants to join me at some point this year, or if you know people that are joining. Anyway, thank you for watching. Happy holidays, happy new year, happy new reading planning season, which is always exciting. Please talk to me in the comments, and if you know about read-alongs or want to join them, please let me know. All right, first in, last out.